Yeah.
You knew he was around town?
Yeah, they are the common suspects that we have around State House.
Suspects?
Yeah, suspects. You know, the issue is English is a very versatile language. We are not saying suspects from criminal perspective. But if you are to ask who is in State House with the president, you will hear the normal suspects. That will know Murkomen, Chirchir, Felix Koskei, and a few other names that we don't care to mention.
A while ago, today on 24th of July 2024, the president has nominated some personalities to the positions of cabinet secretaries. And among them, we've seen John Mbadi, Salim Mvurya, Rebecca Miano, James Opio Andai, Kipchumba Murkomen, Hassan Joho, Alfred Mutua, Wilfred Oparanya, Justine Muturi, and Stella Soi Langat. And I want to take concern with at least two dockets. This one for National Treasury, John Mbadi, and also the other one for Murkomen. He's said to be the CS for Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports.
Yeah.
At one point, you said that state officers must be beyond reproach. And when it comes to Kipchumba Murkomen, you said he still has a lot so that to solidify public trust in him.
Yeah.
So when this nomination has come forth, do you consider this an insult to the Gen Z demands and especially the people they were taking concerns with?
Well, you know, time is the best healer. We were sacked by President Kibaki for 11 days. And we had a lot of reflections in those 11 days. Kipchumba Murkomen has been sacked, I think, slightly more than 11 days. We hope he has learned something. And I'm happy some of the shoes that he has been wearing are sort of sportish. So now he's in the right docket for him to deal with issues of sports. And he's also youthful because he's still a young person. When he was in Cherangani as a primary school student, I was their MP. So I'm happy. But I just want to advise him that to reduce the level of opulence display, the level of condescending attitude to the public domain, respect for those, even those who are the lowly in society, and also accept that all these jobs are fleeting. They are never permanent.
Sure enough.
Yeah.
Now the person who's going to help us steer Kenya's economy to be like that of Singapore, that we so much desire to be as a nation, is none other than John Mbadi, nominated for CS National Treasury. We are now having a member of the opposition having firmly on his hand this very crucial docket. My worry is, should the economy go to the dogs, how then can we justify as a country? Because the blame could come from president saying it is you, the opposition people, we appointed you to this docket, you brought it down. On the other hand, the opposition is supposed to play oversight, making sure our economy is on the right trajectory. How do you think this is going to play out in the fullness of time, and especially this nomination of Mbadi to CS National Treasury?
Well, when it comes to personal capacity, I think Mbadi fits the bill. But the most important issue is that where is the opposition and where is the government? We have gone back to the same bad manners that I've always said. When we go for elections, there is the winner who forms the government at the presidential level, and there are those who have not won. They may have numbers in parliament, in county assembly, and also in various counties, who should be part of the opposition. This therefore means we are still doing an assault on the institution called democracy and multipartyism. We've not come out of that. These are still the same bad manners, and that's why I've always maintained that we need to see how we can build institutions. Let us make the opposition attractive enough so that Bandi does not move from yesterday saying, let us give the president his skanks. Now is one of the skanks. Because if somebody is dealing with skanks and you join him, and almost 3/4 of those who are removed are back, or slightly more than half, which I do appreciate. You know, I would not have expected the president to take away everybody, because part of the blame goes back to him. He was part of that management, and if he said, or which he did, that they underperformed, he was part of that underperformance. So he cannot exonerate everybody. Otherwise, it will be akin to what happened in Ethiopia, where the emperor led his ministers to be taken away by the military junta. And eventually, when he thought another minister was to be taken, he was told, no, we've not come to take away the minister. We've come for you because we suspect you are part of the scheme How come that 5 ministers have been taken away? Where were you when they misbehaved? So this is a very delicate balance that we need to have a look at, ask ourselves, do we want to go multi-party? Or are we going to go for an election where number 1 becomes the president and number 2 becomes the deputy president? Because we don't seem to believe there is opposition and government. We seem to want to solve a moral issue with the GNCs who are asking, with a political solution. In my opinion, this is the beginning of addressing the challenges the GNCs have been pushing forward. And I think the president on Sunday was boosted. Perhaps he had gotten the list from Raila. And he knew now that Raila has come to government, there is no problem. Let me deal with the GNCs. Let me unleash the most lethal force on them because I have resolved the political problem. So in a way, at the end of the 5 years, those of us in the opposition have no reason to blame President Ruto because we have partaken in stolen goods. You cannot say the president is a thief and the rest of us are no thieves. We have already partaken. If it's an oath, we have also participated in oathing.
Both of you are thieves.
Yeah, we are thieves because somebody stole. You are talking about him stealing yesterday. Today, you are going to eat from the same pot.
You still hold the thought that mwizi hana majina mawili? That even when that time comes, it will still be?
Ukidoea chakula ya wizi, wewe pia ni mwizi.
So when opposition will be called a thief,
yeah,
by the side will also be the ruling government also a thief.
Yeah. Because you see, you cannot, you see, if you steal my sheep or my goat in the morning,
sure,
then I come to your house and I eat it knowing that you stole from me. Do I still have any high moral ground to say you are a thief?
Rightly put. And I'm curious to understand, because you're a member of Azimio, La Umoja One Kenya Coalition, with the nomination of John Mbadi, Wycliffe Oparanya, Hassan Joho, and who else? And Opiyo Wandayi, for the respective dockets that they have been nominated to.
Yeah.
Do you consider that these are the sharpest knives in the cutlery of Azimio?
They are not. They were just part of Azimio. Because you see, Azimio is basically Raila plus 2 others. And the 2 others is Kalonzo, Eugene Wamalwa, Martha Karua, and the rest of us who are now appendix to their thinking. For me, it was to make a recommendation today. Azimio is dead as a dodo.
Already?
What we should do is to pull out of Azimio. Really, we cannot pretend we are in Azimio and Azimio is in government. We need to start a new outfit so that it is clear who is with Ruto, who is not with Ruto. This is now a new dispensation. We need to begin a journey towards 2027. If Ruto wins again, we accept that he's going to be president for 10 years.
How true then is the argument that the danger in Azimio is that the core principals, Martha Karua and Kalonzo Musyoka, are oftentimes playing the mark timing kind of game, waiting for others to make the big decision and then they decide whether they're going to join in or not join in. Do you think this is high time they should take that radical step?
It is out of respect for Raila. Hitherto, Raila has been given the father figure of the opposition. And we didn't want to unravel the feathers. But today, any one of them still coming under the guise they are in Azimio, they are wasting their time. If Raila wants to join Ruto, he can join Ruto, run as prime minister in the new dispensation. Musalia becomes the deputy president. Because you see what is happening now, I fear even for Rigathi. He might be evicted from parliament with the combined numbers of Azimio, the component of ODM, plus whatever he had already bought and whatever he had in Kenya Kwanza. Then they bundle out Rigathi and they replace him with Musalia. Then they amend the constitution. Raila comes in as prime cabinet secretary. What will stop him from doing that? And then he abandons the issue of going to AU. You know, it is good to be very plain and to be practical. All this is pretense. We know these people. I joined parliament before Raila came in. I did 2 terms, I think, before he came in. He came in 92. I had done 1 term. So I know him. We were in the cabinet together. We were in the summit. Out of the 8 members of the summit, the other one is Raila, the other one is me. So let us not pretend Raila is in government. He could have brought other laws but not Mbandi that we knew he was abusing Orengo the other day because he was dying to be a minister.
Isn't Baba afraid of what history will have in store for him? Don't you think this will shun down his legacy that he's tried so hard to make it formidable?
Well, at times people forget legacies, and you say the pot breaks at the door. You've come all the way from River Kimoso. You've climbed that hill near the church. You've gotten into the compound. As you get to the compound, there is some slope. Inaanguka, inapasuka, maji na mwagika.
That fate could befall Raila Odinga in the near future. He's not carefully?
Yeah. No, he assigned already.
So then that means his political obituary is underway.
No, for politicians who never write obituaries until they die. Just hold it. Just hold it. But I think this is where Raila has scored very low. Yeah.
By actually seconding the nomination of some people like Opiyo Wandayi.
When you see Opiyo Wandayi, when you see Mbandi, when you see Joho, when you see Oparanya.
These are the people that...
These are deputy party leaders of ODM. So if the two deputies are there, the leader himself must also be there. Yeah.
Isn't he afraid of the test that this will leave in the mouth of the Gen Z, who had taken concern with some personalities in Azimio?
The Gen Zs can look for another team of individuals, whether they're in government or in the opposition, foment that kind of outfit, allow them to compete with the current regime.
So by endorsing this nomination, you clearly are saying Raila Odinga has dismissed Gen Zs, but he's likely doing so at his peril.
CNGs, because these young people, they are not talking out of problems that affect them. These are problems affecting the country. He has dismissed the Gen Zs, their parents and their grandparents. Yeah. He has dismissed all of us.
At the
we supported him last time. I moved out of Ruto's corner because I thought Raila may present a better team. Now, he has gone back to Ruto without the knowledge of the rest of us. Not that I would have wished to be a minister. If William knows me better than Raila does. So if he was to give me a job, I would have to make a decision at that particular time. But now for the leader of official opposition to present 4 names to the president is a admission that there is no opposition in Kenya. Yeah.
So my question is, now that you're saying the opposition of the day has gone to bed with the government of today, so then who plays the role of the opposition? Do we leave it to the civil society?
And
who is going to be the good Samaritan for the Gen
Zs? Yeah. Gen Z will still play that pivotal role of holding fort until we have genuine opposition in Kenya.
Even at a time when the Gen Z movement has been reduced to that of faceless anarchist.
No. The English at times is misused.
Because the government is now saying...
And I don't credit William with a lot of English. Yeah, people say he's articulate, but I don't credit him with a lot of English. He uses some words without thinking. Words in English are supposed to be... That's why they are synonyms. They are antonyms. And they are words which have closely the same meaning. But it doesn't care about the usage of words and phrases.
Diction should matter to him?
Whatever for him is the results. Because, and at times he repeats these words, knowing that the best way is to repeat until people believe the story, that these are anarchists. These are people who are fighting democracy. Where is democracy in Kenya today?
The latest conversation being this is a sponsored protest. There are faces behind it. Initially, we saw Ford Foundation being fronted.
But Ford Foundation gave money to Rachel. So Rachel is one of the opposition leaders? So,
Let me ask.
Yes.
Your friend, second in command, DP Rigathi Gachagua, he's seen all these nominations coming to fore. And initially we saw his ally, Mutahi Kahiga, governor of Nyeri, implore the president. Actually, he gave a demand that the Mount Kenya region must have at least 8 cabinet slots. It is not the reality because we now have the names on board. Should this be a matter that should quake the heart of DP Rigathi Gachagua?
But they have retained, they have gotten up to 7.
Well, but not the initial number.
The initial number because some misbehaved, like Moses Kuria. He actually outboxed himself out of the position. Yeah, he never behaved ministerial. Yeah, he was more of a tweeter. Yeah.
But for DP Gachagua, who earlier on had this hard stance that he has set traps, that Raila Odinga will never come to the bedroom of the government. But now Raila is at the core of today's government, looking at the nominations that have been made today.
Yeah.
Should DP Gachagua treat his boss and even Raila Odinga with arm's length going forth?
My worry is what the boss is thinking about Rigathi. This rapprochement that he had created recently was to just slow the process, fatten the cow for slaughter. But what I would want to tell him is to listen to the speeches of Winston Churchill. In one of the phrases, he says, I don't mind swallowing words because you don't suffer any constipation. So he can swallow his words without suffering from any form of constipation whatsoever.
Is Gachagua the sacrificial lamb you're talking about?
Yeah, it's being fattened for slaughter. I'm telling you. Watch this space. Whatever we've said since we started all these programs, they have come to pass.
Your party leader, Eugene Wamalwa of DAP Kenya, has not made it to the list of nominees, and I understand he was not even eyeing one. But now we are seeing he's more sidelined by the Azimio chief Raila Odinga by the day, him, Kalonzo, and Martha Karua. For you, because you are under DAP Kenya, none of your members has been nominated to the position of CS.
We didn't present any.
You never presented any.
No.
But my question is, your guiding light, huyu mtu ambaye ni mwenge wenu, Eugene Wamalwa, what would be advisory for him going forth?
Let's pull out of Azimio. Let's start another outfit. There are enough words in English. There are enough words in Kiswahili. We can call it even Chadema. Chadema coalition. Ama Vyadema, whichever. Vyadema meaning vyama vya demokrasia na maendeleo coalition. We can call it any other word for simplicity, or even we collapse into one political entity through genuine coalition, so that we go for the next election as a strong political alternative. Otherwise, we are preparing to go to the opposition.
But history has recorded you as one who is never afraid to take a new dawn, to start all over again. But do you think that's the same case for your party leader, Eugene Wamalwa? Because some believe he too is playing the Mark Twain style of politics, always afraid to take the bold move.
Well, I'm advising him now. I'm just telling him plainly, and I will send him this clip, that we need to think drastically and we move out of Azimio. Let us not be left in a desolate house. You know, without Raila, where is Azimio? Let's move out and we think of something else. We can go to original term that Kalonzo had coined. And otherwise, we are wasting time. Yeah.
Should Kalonzo, Musyoka, Martha Karua each pull to their parallel fronts, and so you remain with DAP Party Kenya under Eugene Wamalwa? Do you think you can bring up something formidable that will be a force to reckon with, that can scare the status quo of the day?
We are not scaring them. We want to take over government. For me, when I'm here, I'm preparing to be in the next government. I'm not preparing to go to the opposition.
Even with Raila Odinga, Ruto, that entire political infrastructure in one place, you believe you can still go after them?
GNCs have made a difference. Yeah, they can create even another outfit without me being there, without Eugene being there, without Kalonzo being there, and that outfit can win. This young man in Senegal, he came out of jail, and within 2 months, he was the president. You never know who is likely to take over the next political arrangement.
Lastly, sir, on this conversation, now we have these nominees on board. I want to understand, you've been in governments before, you've been a minister before in the agricultural docket. What should be the guiding light for these new CS nominees, and also for President Ruto with this new cabinet that he has nominated? How do you think he should conduct his business as their father figure?
Yeah, I think there are specific steps he needs to take. One is to allow the due process to take place in Parliament, and those who are confirmed, they get confirmed, and of course he appoints them upon confirmation by Parliament. The next step would be to look at the permanent secretaries, or what they call them, principal secretaries of the day, see whether he can bring down that number. The third step, and perhaps should also have been the second, is to do what we call government dispatch, where roles are going to be properly assigned, and in the ministry that is dealing with the youth, they should have a director for youth. And that director for youth should be able to have sole responsibility of capturing what are the issues raised by GNCs. Which ones are short term, which ones are long term. And having made that clear, then he calls now for a national conference where there will be some selected people from across the political landscape. And those people will be addressed by the president, who will be the keynote speaker of the day. And once they have been addressed, then now they look at other issues other than the ones raised by GNCs. Issues that are fundamental to the future of this country, including institutionalizing opposition and ensuring that the opposition remains opposition with some offices that are boosted for purposes of checking the government of the day. Then all these raft of issues brought together, we are able to put in a template where we decide these are short-term, mid-term, long-term. This will be a solution that will be picked by whoever even becomes the next president to be pursued. Those that will take 10 years, we pursue them knowing that this is our roadmap.